Hello, this is going to be my attempt at a movement tutorial, although I think it's pretty hard to teach how to move in a game as it really is down to just experimenting and practice. But anyway, firstly, what is a strafe? Well, it's a movement in the CoD series which makes you jump further than normal. This is usually affected by your FPS or frames per second that you're using in game. Basically, the max FPS in CoD4 is 1000. When you divide this number by any integer, you are presented with like a sweet spot. When you limit your FPS to one of these sweet spot values, you gain effects in your movement. These effects may be different things, such as your jumping distance, your jumping height, the distance you can move without sound, or making any noise rather, and even the amount of fall damage you take from certain heights. The ones used the most by far in CoD4 is 125 and 250. 333 is also a good one, but basically it's non-usable in ProMod because it gives too much of a jump height advantage. You want to be maxing your FPS on 125 or 250 if you can reach it constantly. Basically, to strafe you need to make like a half circle motion with your mouse while holding forward in the side direction key you're planning to move it, so left or right. I'm going to give you an example here. I've also drawn a really cool arrow on the screen to demonstrate the motion that you should be doing. The arrow really indicates the kind of motion that you should be doing with your mouse. Also, you should be doing this as smooth as possible. With this, you should be holding forward. You should also be using the right directional key to get into the swing of things, and as soon as you jump, switch to the left directional key. And hopefully you should have landed where you wanted. I'm going to show you again but with a left strafe. I'm not really as great at left strafe. Most people can strafe better like one way than the other. The arrow is also pretty out because it's the same one to save time, and also I started in a different place. But anyway, as you can see, you want to be making the same motion with your mouse, but this time starting by holding the left button, and then as soon as you jump, press the right. It's all about the smooth movement of the mouse that gets you the distance. Here's what the strafes look like from my point of view. Once you grasp the concept of the movement, then really you just need to string it all together. This is mostly just done by practice and experience. Like when I'm playing, I don't even have to think about it, it just happens. Along with strafing, you want to be wall running. This is a bug in the Quake engine that allows a player to move faster than normal. This is done by standing next to a smooth wall and sprinting parallel to it. You have to aim very slightly towards the wall and strafe into it. For example, if the wall was on the right of the player, they would look slightly right and hold the right directional key, while of course also holding W and sprint. I'll very quickly try and go over an example of this. It's hard to show, you really just have to try it for yourself. But as you can see the speed of me running normally. Now if I go back and wall run by holding the sprint button, the W, the right directional key and slightly looking into the wall, I move faster. So yeah, that's really all I can go over. If you want to improve it movement and strafing, then it's all really just down to practice and perfecting the motion. There are plenty of jump servers around on CoD4 and a whole YouTube channel just for jumping, which I'll put into the info section. If you do have any questions, then put them in the comments or PM me and I'll try and answer as many as possible.